7 News Detroit starts with breaking news.
Those alleged terror plot arrests right in our own backyard, topping our news tonight at 6. Thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit. I'm Carolyn Clifford. Now, we have been following this story since it broke this morning as multiple raids played out across Metro Detroit and brought you updates throughout the day. Our crews were on the scene for 3 raids at homes on Horger and Middle Point Streets in Dearborn and at a U-Haul facility in Inkster.
Now, what I need to mention to you guys, and this is something that the news probably isn't going to mention, Dearborn has the largest Arab community in the country. I kid you not. You can do the research yourself. Dearborn, Michigan is the largest Middle Eastern hub in this country. So do with that information what you will.
ABC News reports at least 2 people are under arrest. 3 others are being questioned. We are told their ages are all between 16 and 20. We have Team 7 coverage of this developing story. 7 investigator Heather Gattalo has insight from a retired FBI agent about what comes next in this investigation. But we begin tonight with 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham. And Darren, so many neighbors are on edge tonight, and this comes as families are out for Halloween. So what are you hearing tonight?
That's what's so messed up about this, is that you have unsuspecting people out just enjoying Halloween, out trick-or-treating with the kids, and you got people in Dearborn and Inkster planning to mess that up for them.
Yes, Carolyn. Well, the scene is all clear now here on Horger Street, but this is certainly not the start to Halloween that residents here in Dearborn expected. 2 raids about 2 miles apart in Dearborn, rocking neighbors out of their sleep. One on Horger Street.
Early this morning around 5 a.m., we heard loud bangs, and we seen the FBI agents telling our neighbors to come out of the house.
The other raid on Middle Point.
My husband jumped out of bed because he heard a bang sound, and then all of a sudden he heard bang, bang, bang. So he thought it was shotgun, a gun went off. And then so he looked out the window and he saw a bunch of cop lights.
We just seen them being told, get out of the house, hands behind your back, handcuffs, and then just being under investigation.
An investigation into an alleged terror plot potentially planned for Halloween weekend, according to FBI Director Kash Patel, who posted about it on X. According to ABC News, its sources report that firearms training were a part of the suspect's routine and that they mentioned Pumpkin Day, a phrase they believe references Halloween. Lareep Irfin says it's a shocking revelation.
Not only were they intending to carry out this atrocity on Halloween, they were taking firearms training in order to pull this off. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that they were planning on doing this terror plot, as they put it? This is their words, not mine. Do you think that they were planning on doing this in their own community of Dearborn? Probably not.
As so many kids prepare to celebrate the holiday by trick-or-treating.
A little concerning, if something, God forbid, were to happen. But, as far as the FBI doing their part, I feel a little bit better now.
Well, it's not safe for the kids to be out if it's going to be stuff like that going on. We're just trying to have a positive, good holiday.
Be careful. We got to stay prayed up.
The suspects range in age from 16 to 20, according to ABC News and its sources, who also report that an undercover operative monitored online communications from a number of suspects in a group chat, prompting the FBI to take action.
So the dummies were communicating online about their plot to pull off whatever nonsense they were trying to pull off. This is just absolutely ridiculous, and I'm glad that the FBI was tipped off. They did a fantastic job of catching this before it started. Those of you from outside, you don't know this, so I'm gonna fill you in. For years, we had a thing going on here called Devil's Night. It was always October 30th, so it was the night before Halloween. We would have just arson, random arson everywhere all over the city. It was terrible. So Archer, when he was in office, this was like still the early 90s. When Dennis Archer was in office, he decided to do something about it. He was embarrassed by the amount of arson reports that there were the year before. We were a national laughing stock. I mean, remember, these were during those really down years of Detroit. And he was so embarrassed, he said, never again. So the following year, they called it Angels Nights. We had we had people that were volunteers riding around all night. You had to be in at a certain time. There was a curfew, and they had volunteers riding around all the neighborhoods, and that did the job. They did that, and just like that, Devil's Night was dubbed Angels Night, and now it's not even called Angels Night. It's not a night at all. It's just October 30th now. So this was a wonderful example of the community. There's no one coming to help you. Your community, you have to protect your community. And it was the volunteers that were out there driving around. They weren't getting paid for this. They're volunteers. They weren't getting their gas covered or anything like that. They're out there in their own car. They had like some sort of yellow light that you could put on top, one of those like loopy yellow lights or whatever. So the slow driving cars through the neighborhoods, you knew that's who they were. But this was a massive deterrent because they were going to drop the dime on you if you were caught out there after the curfew on some BS, especially if you were young. So just giving you that quick history lesson. Let's continue.
We've never had a problem like that in this neighborhood. So,
Had you met or interacted with the folks at the house there?
yeah, so we're really good neighbors with them. Nothing of that nature, where we can speculate like, hey, this person's kind of off. But we just hope and pray that everything works out for them.
Irfan says 4 or 5 brothers, teenagers, and young adults live at the home with their parents. A woman left the house not long before the FBI cleared the scene around 2:30. That's when I knocked on the door to see what anyone at the house could share about the investigation.
They not coming to the door.
Not long after, men who identified themselves as the family's attorneys arrived and then left, saying they wouldn't be providing comment about any allegations at this time.
Now, it always ticks me off how the parents be like, we had no idea. We had no idea. That, I guarantee you, is going to be what happens here. The parents, because apparently the ages were between 16 and 20. So you have people who are underage living with their parents, and then you have some there, just over being an adult, still living at home though. And the parents are going to be like, well, we had no idea that they were planning on pulling off this mass atrocity on Halloween. We had no idea they've been going to the gun range. We had no idea they had been taking firearms training. We just had no idea. That's why, look, they're already lawyered up. This was yesterday. Today is November 1st. All right. This is SNAP benefits day. This was just yesterday and they already lawyered up. Do with that information what you will.
Inkster's police chief confirms the FBI executed a search warrant at a storage facility. U-Haul confirms it was this location on Michigan Avenue, although it's unclear what investigators recovered, if anything. Now, the remaining questions that it seems only the FBI can answer at this point include exactly how this alleged attack was supposed to go down and where. Live in Dearborn, Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
I know we're going to get more information, Darren, but still hard to believe that these suspects were just between 16 and 20 years old. Thank you so much for your live report.
I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and just say this. This is absolutely ridiculous. It makes my blood boil. I hate hearing about stuff like this happening. Because Dearborn, I can leave here right now. I'm in downtown Detroit. I can leave here right now and be to Dearborn in 12 to 15 minutes. I kid you not. So that's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. I can be to the other city, though. No one wants to go to Inkster. But you can be to Inkster in about 25, 30 minutes. So this is just absolutely ridiculous to me. I have no idea why they were up to this because the FBI isn't releasing that. We know their homes were raided. We know the storage unit was raided. The FBI has not displayed the identities of the suspects. I wouldn't be surprised, though the news isn't going to say this, I wouldn't be surprised if all of them are Middle Eastern. And I don't get it, man. If you don't like this country so much, just leave. If you think wherever your homeland that you came from is so much better, then just go back there. I'm never gonna understand the mentality of hating where you're at so much and choosing to hurt innocent people rather than just exercise your right to leave. I'm gonna leave it there though, you guys. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.